The biological foundation in regards to Mia, puberty is a biological process where there is a sudden change in growth and development, in which puberty is marking the passage from childhood to adulthood. Mia in the vignette is also seen to be physically more mature than her peers. This relates to early maturity. There are negative effects such as depressed mood and school problems, which we can highly agree as Mia often does not show up to class and is often preoccupied on her phone. Because Mia's family is also struggling financially in the vignette, the National Library of Medicine in 1999 has also found that throughout the puberty transition, family income is arguably the single most critical determinant in the settings in which teenagers spend their lives. As per the study, having a well-income family will help sufficiently in students' well-being and transition. But of course, this is sometimes out of everyone's control.
In parallel with biological and hormonal changes that are associated with puberty, adolescence is a sensitive period of social and emotional development. Evidently, during adolescence, obtaining peer social approval increases individuals' motivation, efforts, communication, and interpersonal interactions, and self-efficacy. Pfeiffer and Berkman found that positive social and emotional development from peers is linked to beneficial development into independent adults, enabling them to foster a more complete sense of social self-identity. However, adolescence is also a period of vulnerability to mental health, and bullying can be traumatic and have a detrimental impact on adolescents' development that is most likely to result in a decrease of social development, emotional health, mental health, and academic achievements.
So according to Stop Bullying in 2021, Mia is at risk of depression and anxiety, decreased academic achievement, physical distancing from her friends, and social deprivation. So at school, we can see that the effects of bullying is taking place through the lack of connection and attention in class, and furthermore, the sudden decrease in her class attendance. So what Angelina and I have decided on is an early intervention method to help assist Mia. The early intervention aims to identify and provide effective early support to children and young people who are at risk of poor outcomes. So this intervention takes place as a school-based program for students, frameworks for teachers, and a home-based program to support parents as well.
With the aim to prevent problems from occurring or to tackle the problem when it is present before it gets worse, this intervention will help foster a set of personal strength and skills that prepare a child for adulthood. These 4 aspects have the potential to make the biggest difference and provide benefits throughout a person's life. As teachers, understanding the risk factors that surround biological foundation and social and emotional development can help us explore and minimize the threats to children's development, limit future social and economic opportunities, and decrease the likelihood of mental and physical health problems. The early intervention cannot tell us exactly who needs help, but it helps teachers or adults identify adolescents who are vulnerable and are in need of extra support. The early intervention provides a framework for teachers to identify and provide effective early support to their students who are at risk of poor outcomes.
Contemporary research that influenced my approach to assist Mia include the study by Marable et al. In 2016, found that teaching adolescent females about puberty improves their knowledge, alters their attitudes positively, and enhances their function in pubertal concerns. It is advised that some courses to be delivered in early puberty to help adolescents become familiar with their own bodies and deal with the frequent difficulties that occur during this time.
Inspired by the Cassell framework, we aim to find an intervention that covers skills, knowledge, and attitude across key areas of social and emotional competence. The SEL framework is an integrated framework for how educators, families, and communities can partner up to support social and emotional learning, and according to Jones, the evidence behind the SEL highlighted the importance of social, emotional, and cognitive development for an impressive range of positive outcomes, including academic achievements, mental and physical well-being. In addition to that, Kylie and I also looked at the CHILD framework, which is another evidence-based framework that outlines how teachers can promote social and emotional well-being. We wanted to look for a framework that combines all the necessary competence as well as promote a safe and supportive environment. Hence, we thought that the early intervention was the most universal across all years from pre-K all up to year 12, most appropriate and most suitable for both of our developmental issues.
So the advantages to the proposed approach to assist Mia is, Mia will actually might take into consideration that these biological, social and emotional developmental changes happen to everyone during these teenage years and not to be too hard on herself. Mia experiencing puberty earlier than her peers, physically making her look more mature and older, can benefit her in which that she can be treated differently compared to her younger peers. The early intervention is universal across all developmental issues, and its approach guides teachers to help assist adolescents at risk. The early intervention provides us programs to assist and support students in need. Furthermore, limits bullying and discrimination if all students understand that biological development is a natural process of adolescence.
Some disadvantages with this intervention is that Mia and other students may not take the program seriously. The early intervention may give Mia more stress on herself and may cause her to overthink. This intervention may be a bit costly for some schools when arranging programs, and it may be difficult for schools to organize time during and or after school to ensure that all students, including Mia, is given the support that is needed. I believe that it is essential to understand and implement adolescents' developmental theories, research, and practices within a school or classroom to improve students' learning whilst providing a safe and supportive environment. As a future PDHPE teacher, it is important to be mindful that adolescence is a period of vulnerability to mental health, and we as teachers and supervisors need to be able to create a supportive environment for the personal growth of students. In Auburn, Tomova, and Blakemore's research, 75% of adults who have ever experienced mental health conditions, commonly depression and anxiety, have reported that they first experienced these symptoms before the age of 24. Peer relationship, peer rejection, bullying, and loneliness are risk factors for social and emotional development. In addition to that, we also have to remember that adolescence is a time for rapid cognitive development. Cognitive theorist Jean Piaget describes adolescence as a stage of life in which the individual's thoughts start taking more of an abstract form and egocentric thoughts decrease. This allows an individual to think and reason with a wider perspective. Another theorist, Lev Vygotsky, believed that social interactions play a vital role in cognitive development. I will try my best to build rapport with my students and act as role models in my classroom and outside the classroom environment whilst implementing the Child Framework and SEL Framework. I also aim to implement Vygotsky's theory in my classroom to assess students and determine their current skill level and offer instructions that stretches the limit of each child's capabilities. In PDHPE, the New South Wales syllabus emphasises the importance of exploring a variety of issues that are likely to impact students' future health and well-being, such as physical activity, mental health, drug use, sex health, nutrition, relationship, personal safety, gender roles, and discrimination. I believe that it is critical to provide students with the knowledge and understanding of adolescent development theory to increase students' self-awareness and self-identity, minimize discrimination and bullying, and minimize high risk-taking behaviors. As a teacher, I have a duty of care for my students and will provide the necessary support to ensure that they are safe, ensuring that they do not feel alone, and give advice and materials to ensure that they are capable of managing their own adversity before transitioning into adulthood.
My name is Kylie and my KLA is PDHPE Education. One of the teachings in this course, the concept of adolescent development theory on biological foundation, has had a significant impact on my own teaching and how I'm going to approach it in my secondary school. As a becoming secondary educator with some pre-service teaching experience, I've observed and experienced adolescents and how their biological development on puberty has impacted them in learning both positively and negatively. Puberty is also in the syllabus and curriculum in PDHPE education. All types of changes such as biological, social, and emotional changes take place during the adolescent stage during high school. So myself as a teacher, I can help aim and to develop a balanced personality for the students. Moreover, this is then able to prepare them for the real world and they are in need of developmentally appropriate education. Because puberty is explored and experienced by students during these school years, it is critical for teachers to be aware of all of these developmental changes that teens go through. Parents, carers, and other professionals can benefit from being aware of these changes through thorough research and adaptability to the working environment, as well as supporting students' health and safety while also working sensitively and confidently with these changes. So reinforcing the early intervention framework by putting up posters throughout the classroom, having end-of-month reminders or discussion with students about the developmental changes that children go through high school, puberty can not just benefit the students but also the education as well. So according to Vessler et al. In 2019, theorist Lev Vygotsky considered human language and interaction to be an important part of human experience, as well as part of the human interaction with the environment, and argued that the appearance of language was a determining factor of human development. This emphasizes how critical it is for teachers to implement early interventions and reassurance through communication in the classroom to help pupils grow into better and healthier people. Moreover, according to Targa et al. In 2017, targeted reassurance, which includes specialized attentive education, can improve affirmation and prevent future symptoms. Teachers and teenagers can also get through this stage with appropriate communication of early reassurance, role modeling, and setting boundaries. This can then lessen the amount of bullying that occurs in school and discrimination, further having positive effects such as students learning self-awareness and self-love.